Hi everyone. So I'm going to show you how to make a little altered envelope. These are the DL excuse me, DL sized envelopes. So that's the big long ones we have here in the UK. And I made this tag holder come notepad thing. Hasn't really got a name as such. So stay tuned and I will show you how I made this. So here I am measuring the envelope for you. It's been coffee dyed and it was 8 and something. I can't remember that. So anyway, you could stop and have a look at the ruler. So here I'm using some ARTYmaze paper here, and I'm just measuring. I'm just penciling marks and just going to trim that off. And I couldn't get it level at the top, so I had to move it down the bottom for some reason. But the paper was straight. It was very strange. So that's me just cutting that bit off, and then I'm just going to ink that up and glue it on. Had trouble with my glue. I think I need to fill it up again. I used a lot of it today. I've been doing lots of videos today, lots of gluing. Now I'm just doing the inside of the envelope. It's not really the inside, it's just the other side. Should just say it's the other side. So I've just measured a little piece to cover that top flap, and I'm just trimming that off. I'm not doing any sewing in this project whatsoever, so this is a no sew project. Very easy, as long as you've got glue and paper you can do this. So just popping that on there, and then I want to make a little pocket for the other side, so I use that piece and I back it onto some book page just for sturdiness, and then I punch a little notch out there. I use that because my circle punch is rubbish. And then I think I folded my glue up here, and I glued all around 3 edges, or 3 sides I should say, and then making sure it was the right way up because we don't want an upside down pocket. Right, here I'm measuring. Now I write it down on a bit of paper because I knew I would forget. And I will show you. So I wanted it to be 4, and the longest one is going to be 6 3/4. So I cut my paper using obviously the long side of my coffee dyed paper, and I done the 4 inches, and then I cut it at the 6 3/4, and then all the other ones, they're going to be 4 inches, but then they're all going to go down in size by 1/4 of an inch. So I done that with all the pieces of paper because you're getting like a waterfall effect from the notepad. You don't have to do it like that if you don't want to, but that's the way I done it. So they're all 4 inches across, or whatever size envelope you're doing. You can do this with any envelope. And then I don't know, did I use 4 or 5? Got the project here, 1 2 3 5. I used 5 pieces, and so I took them down 1/4 of an inch, each one from 6 3/4, and then I just glued all the tops of them. You could stitch them if you want to, but like I said, this is a no sew project, and I do that with all the pieces so we've got that waterfall effect. So now I'm just placing that under that flap and just lining it up. We are going to punch 2 holes, but we're only going to go through that little flap and the paper. We're not going through all of it. I suppose you can if you wanted to, but I'm not. So I done it that way. And then punched a hole. You can measure if you want to. I just eyeballed it. And then I'm using some really thin, it's a cream coloured ribbon, and just feeding it in through the back so that I can then feed it in through the inside of the flap and then just tie a bow. And I'm rubbish at bows, but you want to be able to undo that because you can replace the notepad or notelet, note tablet, whatever you call it. I know people call it different things around the world. So these pieces here, I didn't back this piece that I'm gluing, but I backed all the other ones because I'm going to layer that on top of the tag sitting next to it, and because I don't want it too bulky. So we just popped that on. Now if you print it out on cardstock, like a thick cardstock, then you don't need to do any backing. If you want to coffee dye it, you can, but I don't like to put very thick stuff through my printer. I'd rather do the layering afterwards. Not layering, I'd rather do the backing afterwards. So I'm just using some scrappy pieces there from the paper that I used to decorate the envelope with, and I'm just gluing that on as a tab. And then popping that in the pocket. There's a journaling card that went in, and then here I'm just punching the holes on the little tags, and I'm going to use some red eyelash trim. I knew I had some somewhere, so I'm just popping that through and just tying a knot and trimming that off, and I do the same with the other one. And then this piece here, I was looking for a little bit of crocheted trim, so I was kind of pulling that a bit, and I thought it was a bit bulky, so I just cut that in half, and then I used my stapler, and it took a while to line that up, it kept moving, and then I just put a staple through, and so I bumped the camera, sorry about that. Then I was thinking, right, what am I going to do on the pocket? So I had a little cut piece from the tag, one of the tag things that I used, one of the tag sheets, and then I went into my envelope of scrappy pieces. I've definitely got more than this, but this is my go-to at the moment. I'm putting it in an envelope and keeping it at the side of me. So I'm just making a little cluster snippet type thing, and I was just going in that box there. It's got my Christmas bits in, because obviously I've been doing some Christmas projects recently. So just layering up with a few pieces there, and if I was sewing, I would let that dry for a few minutes, and then I would put a stitch through that, like not a zigzag, I don't know what you call it, but not a straight stitch, another one. Then I popped the little word on. I went over that with the distress ink, and then I glued it on, and that was it. I think that was me done. Bing bang bosh, easy peasy. So thanks for watching. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Speak to you soon.